Oh, what's up, everybody? It's your man, Randy, Macho Savage. Yes, brother. Anyways, you guys, I hope you guys enjoy my classes. This is your girl, Erica from the Classy Clown blog, author of the Smartphone Millionaire book, How to Invest in People, Businesses, and Real Estate from the palm of your hand. I am your ship captain pushing you through the crazy next 18 months this country's going to experience. So hence the title of the video is called The September Surge. What is the September Surge, right? And drop a one in the comments if you can see me, hear me, and also drop your city and state. This lets us know where you're coming from. If we want to do in-person events, like we have some events we're doing in Detroit, and we have some we're doing in Las Vegas, and some other ones. But we can't, we don't know where to plan them. Let you guys kind of help us out and tell us what city and state you're coming from. We also send out surveys. We have over 15,000 people on our email list, so we'd be sending out them surveys. Y'all definitely hit up your promotions box. You dig what I'm saying? Hit up your promotions box and click on there. Okay. All right. So September Surge, what is it? If you are a studier of economics, if you are a study of long-term planning for this country, this city, this wherever you are at, we don't just say, hey man, I can't wait till the summer, and you're already in it. We don't say, hey man, I can't wait till Christmas, which is 5 months away. We really go, what is the planning for the next 24 months? I used to be in asset management. Many of you know that. And again, probably going back to that. But at the end of the day, Hitman Heart, what's up, buddy? At the end of the day, the most strategic thing to do is to plan your business and your life in the ebbs and flows that is our culture and our society and our economics. Now, why am I talking about this? I probably already lost some of y'all, and that's okay. I teach all my students in the digital real estate class, in the tax lien class. All these things are cyclical. January to April, you're going to be talking about new year, new me. Girl, I'm moving to a new city. Yeah, right? In the summertime, it's the same old song and dance. I'm out of money. My kids eat me out of house and homes. I'm starving. My insurance is high. The light bill is high, right? Then all of a sudden, last week of August to September, which really is the September surge, all these parents start now going back applying for jobs from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., making sure the kids are in school. There's a flow of money back in the economy, and we call it the September surge. And September surge is also when companies have to use up the last of their budget, and they need a firm headcount for the spring, right? Because people always notice right around Christmas they lay people off at jobs, right? What's going on? Why do people lay off in December? Because usually these companies do a bunch of hiring in September, and they're just trying to get a firm headcount for the spring. Now, if they're laying off people in December, it's usually for the shareholders, stockholders, to kind of make the numbers bounce a little bit. But at the end of the day, it's literally a September surge. Now, first things first, I'm not gonna lie to you, I got like 15 bullet points on here. Jeez Louise. So let me just go through them. Brace yourself, but let's go ahead and start with the first one. Applying for jobs. Companies have to use up that budget. They have to get a firm headcount. So all these tech jobs, you guys have been like, oh, the tech. Listen, you've had the summer to study. That's why my emails keep sending y'all for the next, 4 weeks, summer of mastery. Focus on something that you can be firm in and put a full foot effort. Now, what do I mean a full effort? I mean 2 to 3 hours a day. I don't care if some of y'all are playing the information in the background for 2-3 hours a day. You're walking around your neighborhood after this for an hour, play it in the background. Whatever that is you're trying to master, now is the time. Because by the time September hit, I'm telling y'all, just know how this goes. This is a microeconomics conversation we're having, but macro and micro. September comes, right? September comes. Kids are back in the groove of things. Your mom or your friends that have small children have part-time jobs or something they're doing in the day. All of a sudden, all the husbands and the men in your life are all sports. Even the women, me too. And then you have, all of a sudden, you look up, it's November, December. And they're in the mindset of Christmas. They've already checked out, y'all. And this is what I'm trying to get y'all to understand. Donald Trump got indicted again or something. And that's what the thumbnail is. And I laugh because people don't care. They don't care because it's not voting time yet. They don't care. You can indict that man for jaywalking on the street. It wouldn't matter. Because we have a country that's like, do I like what's going on right now? No, I want to change it or change it back. That's basically how our country operates. We ask people, do they like the past 3 months of gas prices? No, I didn't like them at all. It was terrible. If I lower their gas prices right before the election, people forget. That's just the economy we live in. So September surge, and every one of these I'm going to focus on them as they say. September surge is when you want to start applying for these jobs, do it. Because most of my people that are in tech sales and stuff like that, they were telling me, hey, make sure you apply for December, because they're already gearing up for the budget they need for next year. And if you're already scheduling the country for a recession, you already know how much staff you're going to get. You already know how many people you're going to train, you know how much you're going to invest. And I told y'all about the training because these companies don't want to spend money training people. They just don't. Linda and Vice McMahon are both ECU alumni. I know that, and we are very proud of that at ECU. It's very much a talked about topic. The fact that some of the amazing connections I just made at this conference are other ECU alumni that graduated the year I was born. If that makes sense to you, let's just say it that way. The year I was born, these people were graduating ECU. I'm like, good gracious. But that's the power of, let's just go there. Upper middle class conversations, connections. A guy just got fired for lying on his resume about graduating from ECU from the radio station. And I'm like, dude, a simple transcript request or any of them just calling, they would have found out you didn't graduate. But it's that old system, that, hey, buddy boy system. I'm going to help my son or daughter get in somewhere without having the qualifications. AI is cutting a lot of that, y'all. It's cutting a lot of that. Okay. Now, second one. Now, I've talked about this. We'll be sending out emails to Ashley about some of our affiliates, how you like working with them coming up. So check your email boxes all this week. One of the affiliates that's most important to me is our credit affiliate. Why? Because credit is going to be tightening up. I just finished watching CNBC. I was exhausted because sometimes I'm watching it, so much information, and I have ADHD. It's a struggle. But JP Morgan Chase had Jeremy Lane on, and I may be saying it wrong. It's like Liang. And he basically let y'all know what's up. Listen, us over here at JP Morgan Chase and Asset Management, we're already projecting a recession. What's the recession coming from? Tightening credit. Like he didn't even try to go. He didn't even like blink. He's like, yeah, tightening credit conditions. And so when people are like, oh, the housing market's going to come down and this is going to come down, and y'all, no, I'm telling you, I literally just finished working within a mastermind group where they just charted out like 150 banks in the Southeast that you can run up and go get some funding from. Now, here's the problem. You have to be dedicated. You got to be consistently following up with this because it's a process, a whole process. But I'm going to leave that alone. But what does that mean for you and me? I finished going to conferences, and for years, these conference people did not have a problem spending money, paying fines, and letting African Americans, Latino Americans, and Native Americans not be involved. They're like, okay, what's the fine? Tell me the fine, government. Oh, yeah, you got to pay $10 million. No problem, $10 million. And now at first I said, man, it's racism. It's racism. These people are racist. And I'm going to just tell you like this. It is a who do you know situation. And if we're not in the rooms, we can't be invited. And everybody's like, no, it's racism. Listen to me. If some of these, the government's giving you $10 million, but you got to work with somebody for 15 years. Do you want to work with Ricky Bobby that you're going to go fish and hunt with and shoot the shit with? Or do you want to work with Lakeisha over here that you have nothing in common with? You ain't better from Adam, but the government telling you better go work with Lakeisha. You better go work with her. You're going to choose Ricky Bobby over here. Because if something goes awry, you could be like, hey, Ricky Bobby, you know how things are. Come on, man. Do you know what I'm saying? So, if somebody's from the UK talking about America looks bad, you guys, hold on. This guy right here, I'm about to just block you. Here's why. UK's fucked up. You guys are broke. Half of Italy is in the dumpster. The half of Europe is broke, and you live in the projects. Most of you live in housing, subsidized housing. America's not shamming. It's not a sham. UK's a sham. You guys are ghetto. Paris is ghetto. Stop it. Save that to people who don't never travel. And for that, you're blocked for the night. Have a good night. You're putting time out. If he comes back in talking about UK Tech G with a session made point, go ahead and dot him out, y'all. We don't have time for that. We don't have time for Europeans or people from UK telling us how bad America is. Baby, it's not bad. I've actually traveled the world. Y'all looking shitty over there and pickpocketish. Hush. Get out of the conversation. Next, now back to what I was saying. Reason why I'm sitting here, yes, the block ministry. So the reason why I'm sitting here telling y'all this is because these companies were able to pay fines for years, just be like, oh, I couldn't work with you. Well, now as credit is tightening and the government is like, look, we're not playing. You know, Tampa, Florida was the biggest one, and Orlando got in the most trouble. Tampa and Orlando end up having $334 million allotted for black welders, plumbers, and black roofers. Oh, we can't find it. We can't find it. We can't find a black plumber, welder, electrician to save our lives. So um they let Tampa and Orlando, a lot of their companies out there, avoid the trouble, right? Avoid, oh, we couldn't find any black people. Now the government ain't playing that, right? This is what happens when you have Democrats in versus Republicans. Republicans like, well, we just gonna keep finding y'all till y'all go find some people, right? The Democrats are like, no, you're gonna find some people and you're gonna find them today, and you're gonna pay a fine, so you get to do twice. You get two. So now when I go in these rooms, hey girl, how you doing? We they best friend. Okay, I like her. She funny. She country. Her man can go fish and golf. Okay, this works. I'll partner with her. And that's what's happening in our credit systems. And that's the short answer I can give y'all. I wish I could do a super in-depth thing, but it's not. But basically that's that part. That part. If that makes sense to y'all, just put a one in the comments. If y'all understand that it's not always racism, but it's a lot of times it's who you have to work with to get the money from the government. That's all. And if we're not filling out the paperwork and we're not showing up in the rooms, I just went to an event, 1,500 people there who are determining for the whole state of Texas, the affordable housing, and we're less than 100 people. We're maybe 75 people in the room. Ooh, baby, we can't even talk because we're not even showing up. They're like, please, like we went to one of the meetups and the bank there was like, listen, every week for the past 6 months, they've been on our neck to find black developers. They've been on our neck. In every meeting, somebody find a black developer. Now I'm talking to her and I'm like, the first thing in my mind is if I hear that every meeting for 6 months, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go to as many real groups as I can. I'm gonna go find 10, 5, 15 black people and be like, look, I found black developers. Now what's gonna happen to you at that company? You're gonna be promoted. You're gonna be like, look at her. Everybody work like she's working. Find these black developers so we can get this money out from this bank like the government is asking us to. I'm just trying to tell y'all what's going down. This is what's going down in the system right now. All right. Number 3. Woo, baby. HISD is trying to hire uncertified teachers. What is HISD? It is Houston something schools. You know what I'm talking about. It's Houston schools, okay? And here's the problem with that. And here's why I don't have a problem. I've told y'all for years now, the public school system is just going to be a catch-all. It's going to be whatever substitute teacher we can find to stick in the classroom. If we can pass the grades, maybe. If we can't, we can't. They were harping on LeBron James students not being able to pass the math test the past 3 years. 8th grade boys. Let's keep it a buck. They don't have 8th grade black boys or white boys passing the math in any schools in 8th grade. It's been a nationwide problem, but we're able in some of these sites to pick at LeBron James' school for not passing when I can go down to Houston Independent, and half of them schools can't pass either. So you know what I mean? This is something that's going to be happening in mass numbers because Houston and Dallas never, like, I love Texas. I love it. You know, not as much as North Carolina, but I love it. Like right number 2. They've never planned for this many people to come to Texas with children. Now let me be careful. Let me say I say this. When I was here maybe 6 years ago, 70% of all children under 18 in Texas were black or Latino. So many white people have escaped from New York and California that we are now back to 55%, 60%. That means at one point we were 70%. The schools in Texas were 70%, even if it was spaced out in places, 70% black and Latino. Okay. Now it's going back to 55%. That means millions of white people with children left their home states, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Indiana, Missouri, and came down to Texas, Dallas and Houston. And Dallas and Houston are like, what? Whoa, wait a minute. We got more kids? We're not even ready. They're not ready. Simple as that. Okay. So So you will see more substitute teachers long term. You'll see more girls that just barely graduated high school coming to teach your child something. You're going to see more men teachers. Why? Because they're going to start trying to figure out incentives to give men to come in the classroom. And it's just going to be a hot mess. So I told you that about public school systems. You already know what's coming. Brace yourself. She said HISD was taken over by the state. It ain't improved. Because what people don't understand is I can put every single child in school in a uniform, right? And kids will still know the 20% poverty kids from the other kids. Whether it's they wash their clothes, whatever. In Baltimore, Maryland, they had schools putting washing machines in the school to wash the kids' clothes because the kids got such raggedy ass mamas. They going to wear the same dirty school's clothes for weeks on end, stinking. Right? So again, Texas will start implementing an AI system, more data-centric education for sure. For sure, they don't have no choice. Okay. Now, where's the other one? Remember I was telling y'all about homes. Remember I was telling y'all about, when people complain, ain't nobody getting married here, ain't nobody buying houses. No, that's just who you know. That's just who you know. In 2022, the National Real Estate Association of Realtors put out the data because they have to. 88% of home buyers and home sellers in 2022 were white. 3% were black. The other percent was all over the place. Investors, foreigners, whatever. Why is that important? When you talk about one of the biggest wealth transfers in America that just happened from 2019 to 2022, right? People trying to sell a house this year are late. People trying to sell their house now are on the downslide. People trying to sell their house now can't get a HELOC. People trying to sell their house right now just ran out of money, right? Let's just go there. The people that sold last year and the year before that, they are raking in the dough. I've met countless people who like, oh my God, I sold my house. And now I can have a retirement. I'm like, what do you mean? I put $200,000 into my stocks. Oh my God, I can have a retirement now. I've got 10% dividends. I'm so happy, right? Or I rolled the money into another house. I mean, just the conversations I'm having with people who were able to buy and sell a house. So if 3% of Black people are only even able to have the conversation, that's what I want y'all to understand. Like, you aren't even a part of America if you're not even having the conversation. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all not even in the conversation. Okay. So anyway, let me keep going. But that's important. Why is that important? Because that teaches you, again, that, African American folks are going to be renters. There's a huge number of white people that are going to be renters. I think it's 44%. Black people, it's like 64%. So now that you know that, right, you do with that information what you will. You do with that information what you will. Excuse me. Okay. We all over the place with this today, but we're going to go there. Number 8. Are we on number 8 or 5? I'm not certain. I think we're on number 6. All right. So there's a book that came out in 1896 by Frederick Hoffman. I'm going to put it in the community tab on the wall for y'all to read it. And this is from 1896, y'all. This is very smart. 1896. It's called The Race, Traits, and Tendencies of African Americans. American Negro. Y'all, I've been watching countless videos dissecting this material. And essentially the guys were basically racist. But they were like, you know what? If we just cut them out of education and healthcare, they'll be out of here in 2 generations. We'll be fine. We'll get rid of them. This is 1896. This is how literally this guy was like, you know what? Instead of all these race riots and bombing and burning the town, like, don't do that. We just cut this access to good food, healthcare, and education. These people will wear themselves out. They'll be erased in 2 generations. Why? Because if you think about 1896, you think about how much people, let's just go there, had bad health, died at 40, bad teeth, all kind of stuff. They were struggling, okay? They were struggling with bad breath, bad ovaries, bad kidneys, bad backs. It's 1896. Everybody didn't live long, okay? But what I will just say, as I read parts of it, they underestimated the what? The Southern Negro, the Southern herbs, medicine, the home birth, right? When all the white women are starting to go into the hospitals in 1920s and 30s, Black people didn't go to the hospitals in 1967 for birth. Unless there was just a pain, an emergency, they had to cut her. They didn't go. So you already see, and then the Native American tribes, they were literally you know, removing the reproductive rights of women to the 1970s. So, even in Mississippi, black women who went in the hospital they called it the Mississippi appendix because they were literally sterilizing women when they had actual other surgery. Oh, my appendix went out. Oh, no worries. We got you. Not only did they fix your appendix, they sterilized you. So there's a lot of terrible things that went on as far as our healthcare in this country. But that they didn't suspect that black people would be so resilient, that we would be all about medicines and herbs. Like I just got a stock of a magnesium soak and some herbal teas, right? Right. They did the Family Lou, right? There were Native American women who had one baby. The baby died a few hours later. They were like, whoops, we already sterilized you, right? Crazy stuff, right? I mean, if you really read it in a day, it'll make you so angry it doesn't make sense. But they knew, we can get them. We can get them with the healthcare. Now, if y'all don't understand what I mean by this, when you had all black doctors, black nurses, you could do barter system. You could bring food, you could trade supplies. It was what it was, right? Chris Rock will tell you. He makes a joke about in his town there were no black dentists, so the veterinarian in town was a white man, would make the black people go to the back of the barn and he would sterilize them a little bit and yank their teeth when the teeth were bad. And this is Chris Rock's parents. Chris Rock is like in his 50s. This isn't some crazy long time ago, right? That's right. 100 years later, we still don't go to the doctor. And when the COVID thing happened, and I was telling people like, I don't trust none of that. Oh, Erica, that's so ridiculous. I'm like, I'm Native American and black. There's nothing about our healthcare system that makes me trust it. The doctor I have is Jewish, and the reason I have him is because he's like, listen, I don't trust none of these people. I'm not telling you get no shot. I'm not telling you to get no hysterectomy. I'm not telling you to do any of this. I'm going to use every alternative medicine on earth first. He's like, I don't know when medicine became like this. That's why I rock with him. That's why people are like, why you got a Jewish doctor? Because he about that life. He like, I don't care what they tell you. I'm not doing it. like I came to his office during the middle of the pandemic. Everybody in the office had no mask on. This woman came in losing her mind. Everybody should have a mask on. He came out like, girls, put a mask on. So like 15 people on staff put a mask on. She leaves, she pay. I come out there, they done took the mask off. He's like, listen, till they prove me that this is beneficial, I'm not doing it. That's why I picked them. So anyway, that's a good read. It'll help you study people, but it's also helped me in my business, in my everyday life, because as I keep encountering African Americans in different microcultures, I see why they're in poverty. I see why they leave major cities. They can't survive in the major city. They don't want to reinvent themselves. They don't have the money to pay for certifications. They don't have the mental capacity to change their trajectory of their family. So they just move out to the country or they move somewhere further out. I've seen it all the time. Mr. Don, majority of black people in the most recent years have been going to hospitals and complaining of lack of sufficient care. So there has been an uptick on, what do you call them? Doulas and midwives in the black community. Because around 1970, the hospitals were like, this model doesn't work unless we can get black people in here having babies. My mom was the first of 7 family members, and my grandma had to go to the hospital. And then after she was born, because it took so long, every baby after that was still born at the house. My mom was the only one out of all her sisters and siblings and her brother to be born in a hospital. Right? Like, nah, it ain't happening. So now the midwife the numbers have returned, more personalized healthcare has returned. And so you should see those numbers drop in the next 5 years. But again, you got to listen, let's go there. You can't be eating hot Cheetos, not walking, not drinking water, and not listening to, just sound advice on food and medicine. I'll just say that because I'm seeing women who are 300 pounds getting pregnant. And I'm like, sister, you're endangering everybody's life in this room. The people cutting you, the baby, yourself. You got to come off down some of that weight. That's just an honest moment there. Okay. Let me keep going, y'all. I got a lot today. Okay. I got a lot. Okay. It's crazy right now. Here's another one. Clemson's LB, TJ Dudley. Lord Jesus. Y'all got to talk to these children. Okay. Clemson's linebacker, I guess what you call that, LB, TJ Dudley, took photos in the locker room and sold them on OnlyFans. Y'all, this kid is playing for Clemson, one of the most highlighted schools. There's NIL deals all over the place. There's opportunities to make money all over the place, but you are in the locker room as your friends and teammates are naked, taking their clothes off, getting ready for the shower, and taking pictures. And then you sell them on OnlyFans. Not only should you be banned from the school, you should be arrested. You should be arrested. I stand by that. If this was a man taking pictures of a woman, naked women in a gym, we would be arresting him. Because these are football players and they're in their young 20s, 18 to 24, this is not acceptable. But here comes that moment where you're going to start seeing real outrageous September surge behavior where people are doing stuff that's real weird for money.
And donkey of the day, as they usually say.
Okay, so donkey of the day, as they would say, is TJ Dudley of the Clemson, formerly Clemson Tigers, Lelby. He should be arrested. I'm just being very honest. I think that's unfortunate.
Also,
In the unfortunate category, can y'all hear me? Put a one in the comments if you can hear me. I know people are calling my phone, messing with me up here. All right, because it's one thing if you're taking pictures of yourself. That's one thing. I can't stop you from doing that. That's silly, but I can't stop you. But to be taking pictures of your teammates against their will, they don't know, they're just getting ready for the shower. That's too much. You need to go to jail, just for a day or two, if nothing else. UAB, which is if you guys understand what that is, University of Alabama hospital systems. Okay, hospital systems. They had over 50 people fired the past week. Why? Because these dum-dums were literally. Said I got echoes. I have echoes. Am I echoing? Let me know, y'all. Anyway, these dum-dums decided to take a look at Carly Russell, the girl that had claimed to be kidnapped, medical records. Now, you already know what happened with Tasha K and all that. Tasha K got in trouble because security guard, correctional officer provided her with R. Kelly's records information. How about that information? And so she quickly retired so she could keep her benefits from the correctional system. But this is the thing. People want to be popular. They want to be called by TMZ. They want to be a snitch, a famous snitch. So they're doing these bad activities. So 50 people lost their job. Welcome to the September surge at UAB. They hiring University of Alabama, Birmingham hospital systems. They're hiring. Okay, if you didn't know that, they're hiring. Let me see. Where's my other one? Y'all have a ton of stuff in here. Let me keep going. All right. Remember when you guys were so concerned about racism, and you were like, oh my God, affirmative action. Oh my God, we're getting rid of it. Yes, affirmative action out of here. That's for white ladies. Well, guess what? September surge surprise again. 8-8 program is now officially stopped indefinitely until the conclusion of a lawsuit from March 2020 on what? Claiming 8-8 was affirmative action. Now, let's be very clear. 8-8 is for just new business owners, entry-level business owners, minority, white, black, whoever. It is basically an opportunity to get to start servicing the government. Now, but what happened? Y'all have short memory. Let me help you. 8-8 was marketed on Instagram by black influencers for the past 4 years. Heavy as hell. Heavy as hell, right? All these black influencers are like, let me get you in the government contracts, Brody. We'll just get you in the government contracts. We're going to hook you up. And everybody's like, yeah, me. I want to be hooked up with government contracts. I don't even know what the hell I'm supposed to be doing, but I want to be hooked up with government contracts. Oh, yeah, that's good. Hold on 1 second. That's good. I want to be held up with these government contracts. Cool. No problem. Fill out the 8-8 program. It'll help you get your foot in the door, and you'll get a good 7 years where they're going to try to work with you because you're a smaller business. Well, somebody sued. One of our Indian, not Indian with a dot. I mean, not Indian with a feather, but Indian with a dot, said, that's not fair. It's affirmative action. Sir, you're Indian with a dot. But anyways, he's suing. So because the Supreme Court just went ahead and said, yeah, that affirmative action, we're getting it out of here. Now the 8-8 from the government is saying, you know what, we're going to hold two because, it could fall under affirmative action. I mean, this is a pretty weak case, but we're just going to play it like we don't know any better. If you know anything about the law, it doesn't matter if it's on the books. Now it matters if it has a precedent, right? Did somebody vote in this kind of similar case before? If so, we may vote the same. That kind of stuff. So there you go. Enjoy that. September 3rd is when we all start applying to get our foot in the door for 8A and entryway into government contracts. Well, good luck on that. Good luck. Okay, so it better be a woman, a veteran, or something else. Good luck. All right. September surge strikes again. I don't know. Are we at number 13 or 12? I'm not certain. But let me go to the next one. Ooh, 72,600. We said it again. 72,600 evictions in the 5 counties core to Atlanta. That's right. Since January 2023, we've had 72,600 people run out of PPP money, OnlyFans money, Turo money, DoorDash money, Uber money. I'm a be a bottle promotion girl money. I'm gonna do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and Atlanta money. They out of money. What does this mean? So many people say, Erica, oh, they're building all these apartments. They're gonna have to let people stay there. No, they're not. No, they're not. What is gonna happen in Atlanta, Cobb County, and several of these counties? Oh, you got an eviction? You can't live here. Now I'm gonna tell you a little trick. Get your pen and paper out. Get ready for this little trick. I'm from the apartment industry, so I can tell you a trick. All right, this still works to this day, but you gotta have your money together. Are y'all ready? If you get evicted, an eviction takes 7 years to get credit unless you play around with some credit repair. I'm just gonna say that. If you get evicted, go find a new construction apartment, one that they just building. They just getting it off the ground good. Go find one of those. Because here's the problem. When it comes to new construction, we have to fill the units up. Okay? Why do we have to fill the units up? In order for the complex to get under a different type of loan. Right? Not the construction loan, but a different type of long-term loan. The people in the front office, what we call lease-up team, comes in and they try real quick to fill the apartment up. Some people ain't even qualified. Some people got 2, 3 evictions. It don't matter. Can you pay first month's rent and first month deposit? Can you pay that? Then we're gonna let you in the door. All right. Just I'm just telling you. Just make note of what I'm telling you. You having a problem with your credit? You having a problem with eviction? You are part of the 72,000 people in Atlanta that got evicted. You watching my video? Go find you a new construction location. Have you that first month rent, first deposit, and you're in the door. Okay. Note to self: September surge is here. All right. Someone said I was in the heartland to see my people in Indy and Steak and Shake. I had all kiosks, Taco Bell. Exactly. It's a wrap. I think y'all think this is a joke. It's a wrap. September surge strikes again. LA residents, LA tenants are now got to August 1st, which is today. Welcome, I'm back August 1st, to pay 18 months back rent. Or do what? Move. Leave. 80% of rentals in LA are mom and pop owners. This is why if you watch the Arnold Schwarzenegger documentary, you see he became a millionaire in real estate in LA before he became a Hollywood producer. Right? He started a company hauling junk, Hunks Hauling Junk, before it was called Hunks Hauling Junk, where him and his powerlifting bodybuilder friends would go haul junk. Right? Okay? Just getting it out of here. Getting it out of here. Okay, right? And he made money off that. So much money, he asked the other immigrant people in LA, what should he do? And they say, man, buy some real estate. What are you doing? All that money you making from hauling that junk, take it over there, buy real estate. So then he did what? He bought multi-unit complexes in LA. If you see a lot of LA and parts of California, period, you see those old 1960s, 1970s, like the 80s, like 4 to 6 unit, 4 to 8 unit. They were a lot of places all over California. Old style. You go see it. Exactly. Somebody said, if you got 18 months, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? If you got, Journey to Jasmine, they won't be there. I promise you. They won't. If I had 18 months free housing, the things I would do with that money, honey, the cars that have been purchased, the trips that have been taken. Okay, stop playing with me. They've been out there living their best life. Okay, next September surge. This is a little bit petty. What I'm gonna do it because I can be petty. All right, 21 convention is canceled. Why is 21 convention canceled? Now, first you're gonna say, what is that? What is that, Erica? What is that? What is 21 convention? 21 convention is the white manosphere's version of the black manosphere, where every year they do a small convention in Florida usually, and they talk about making women great again, making men alpha again. Now, what's happened in the past 3 years, unfortunately, when they've been starting doing these conferences, is people ain't paying. They've heard this rhetoric, they've heard this talk. It don't work. Y'all is broke. I'm tired of hearing about it. They're not going. Now, the leader of the event was like, I just had a brand new baby girl and a new wife. I ain't going. Several of the most prominent talkers were like, hey, I just had a baby too. I can't go. So you got people who are telling you, you man, don't deal with these women. These modern women are bad. They're terrible. They're awful. And they are getting married and having brand new babies and telling you, hey, I can't come to the convention this year because I got a brand new baby and a brand new wife. I mean, again, the stories write themselves and they're comical. So why are people not going? Because I've been going to conferences and I told y'all for the past next 18 months, it's going to be money, 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 money if you do an in-person event, period. I'm not going to pay to fly to Florida, to pay for a ticket, to hear you and these guys use that same rhetoric over and over again, that I can go watch you 8 hours on, YouTube and do that. I'm not going to pay. One, I don't have the money. Two, if I'm in your audience complaining, I'm probably not a money person. Make it make sense. As they say, make it make sense, right? Yes, that is dumb and sharpen them. Yeah, people are hearing about women in nonsense. That ship has sailed. All that 2019 to 2021, when somebody can tell you, hey, man, you can come online, brother, and you can make all this money, and you ain't got to do shit, man. That's over. That PPP money's gone. That stock money's gone. You can't. You can't. There's a dude out there who's 60 years old, missing teeth, still talking smack. And you're like, dude, you go work on yourself. Y'all listening to this, man? Shit me. But anyway, so yeah, that was a petty moment, but that was a September surge. I had to share it. Where's the next one? Mexico. Now, y'all may not think this is important, but this is very important. Mexico has decided it's going to start growing heirloom corn, where it's purple and different colors and all of that stuff. Now, you're going to say, why is that? Well, I'm going to be careful because I don't want this video taken down, but Monsanto, just Google Monsanto and how tough they can be on farmers in other countries. You think they bad to farmers in America? Look how they talk to farmers in other countries. So Mexico, as a sign of protest, has decided, you know what? We'll take 20% of if we got 50 acres, every 20 acres, we're going to grow the organic, the old corn, the heirloom corn that's purple and reds and greens, the stuff that our people used to eat anyway. And if you notice in America, we're following trend. And so that's going to be interesting to see how that turns out. And Monsanto don't beat all their arms and legs. You dig? Listen, come on, Aunt. Listen, hold on. Come on, Aunt. Tell the truth, shame the devil. These people, listen. I'm going to tell you this. This is something quick. I'm going to tell y'all, put it in your head. This is free game. You could, be careful, I got to tell you. I can't tell y'all everything. But let me put two ways. Colleges and schools have money to speak, right? That means I could book 2 colleges a week and get paid $5,000 from each college every week for the rest of the year while school's in and make money, right? Make money, period. Speak to the young people. Speak to the youths. This is why you have Jordan Peterson and them always booking up the schools, right? Speak to the youth and get paid. Now, here's the flip side. I can always run around and do in the next, 20 states. I could go do this. I could go, hey, every state, Erica's Classic Climb is doing 2 events per state, right? I'm going to DC. I'm going to Baltimore. And as long as and this is be honest, if I have, my ticket prices are $300. As long as I get 30 people in the room, that's a justifiable event every single time. And there are people who do there's a whole business of speaking and event making that I broke it down to digital real estate for you guys, and I broke it down in the Facebook groups. Y'all can make $1 million a year just doing events. You have a certain percentage of people that come to the event. Then out of that percentage, you have people that sign on to a longer term, mentorship. There's very easy numbers. I broke it down in several videos. So when people say, "Oh, we had to cancel our event," so you're telling me you couldn't get 30 people into your event? Because that's all you really need. If you charge $99, even $99, you got 30 people in the event. That's enough to cover your event. People don't want to hear that part though. But that's a whole nother conversation. Better get them skills. Hard to be a broke player. Gas too high. The Kevin Samuels economy stimulus package was cool for the manosphere, but since then, most of them guys have fallen off. Yikes. Thank you for sharing it. Okay. Let me go on to, I got 2 more on the list. Okay, yeah. All right. So, yellow trucking. Listen, Cena Viz just did 2 million in one day speaking. People do it. It happens. There's a combination of marketing and ads, and there's so much stuff I can say. I'm not going to say too much on here, but I'm for real. If you want to really rock it up, in-person events, that's why you see them, Let's Flip Houses, A&E TV. They're still out here doing them little, we got a free workshop. 300 people show up to workshop. Only really 10 of y'all going to be serious about it. The 10 of y'all come to the free workshop and spend $20K with the group. They justify that every time. Let's say you only spend $2K with the group. 10 people every time, every city. They don't care. They good. It's a whole business, but I'm gonna leave out. I'm gonna get out of that. Thank you, Journey to Jasmine. Appreciate that. All right, I think we're on 15. I don't know. It's September surge. Y'all probably like, Erica's August, but it is. I mean, if you know anything about long-term planning, it's September already. Yellow is up 200% in the stock market. But you're like, Erica, no. Yellow is laying off 30,000 guys. They're filing bankruptcy. They stopped their pension. Oh my God, they're falling apart. They're falling apart. They're up 200% in the stock market as of 3 hours ago. Again, I haven't checked it recently. If it's changed, please correct me. I'm okay with that. I think they were at $3.50. Somebody look up the yellow trucking stock price at the current time. Now, why does that matter? Why is it running up? Why is it running up in the stock market when it's running down everywhere else? Think about it. There's 700 million tax, 700 million. Let me say that one more time. $700 million in tax money put in to yellow. Said it again, $700 million. All right. 30,000 employees times the PPP. You do the math on the PPP. They got millions, if not billions, in the PPP. Right? Again, the PPP. Okay. And then on top of that, they had pensions. They had to restructure. Oh, we can't get your pension. And it's been going viral as a black man who's been working for them 30 years. He's hollering. He's carrying on. He's, brother, if you spent 30 years with that company, that tells me you could have spent those 30 years putting $100 a month in the stock market. And when I mean stock market, I don't mean just throwing it in there like you don't know what you're doing. I'm talking about 401ks. I'm talking about a structured dividend plan. Like, those people have come to talk to y'all. Thank you so much. Closed at $390 today. So it was $350 earlier when I saw it. So yeah, it's moving. But 200% up. It was up 200%. And if this doesn't show you how disconnected the stock market is from regular everyday life, I don't know what will. But what it does show me is they're not going to let this company fail. It's too big to fail. It has too much invested in bonds. It has too much invested in infrastructure. Our country don't need 30,000 truckers not working. There is a big problem if you have 30,000 truckers not working, right? UPS had threatened to strike. I think they're not striking because of this, because they would be inundated. Like the Teamsters ain't stupid. Like, hey, if we strike and there's 30,000 dudes unemployed, they'll figure out how to get in the UPS truck. Plain and simple, right? A lot of these pensions, like I really want to do a whole video on pensions because I've done some before. Like just the Kentucky pension, I did a video on that. That just blew my brain. But around the country, these pension systems are going to have to restructure because many people think, oh, I paid into the system, you're giving my money back. No, baby, that money been spent. When you was putting that money in, it was paying for your grandpa's retirement. When I'm putting money in, it's paying for your retirement. So many people, I've said this to my mom many times. I'm like, well, we got to get rid of Social Security. Why? I want my money. Your money's gone. Your money's gone. This money we're spending is not your money. It's my money. And so if you have a parent or anybody, I would be just honest with y'all, 55 to 75, they need to figure out what is a way they can get their bills to a manageable state that's including insurance and medical care. Because I would not at this time. If you tell me, hey man, I got pension coming, you better be attending the meetings. You better be attending the board meetings because they just had that issue here in Texas with the teachers. They were trying to figure out the teachers' pensions. A lot of these apartment buildings you see being built, many people don't understand why are so many apartments being built. They're throwing them into those pension funds. A lot of these family offices own these apartment buildings, and they just got to keep them a certain amount rented out and a certain amount, maybe around 4% returns, which they're making anywhere from 15 to 20% returns. But the family office gets that 10%, and the pension fund gets 5%. If that's the best I can explain that in a short time. So that's why you see so many apartments. That's why you see so many companies buying up all this data, buying up all these places. That's why so many people are upset with Threads. They can never sign off unless they delete their Instagram. And people love their Instagram, so they won't delete it. So they'll make Threads look like it's got 30 million people forever, and it doesn't. It's the same song and dance. Yellow's not going to go out the door without some government intervention. Let's just be very clear on that. Oh, it's restructuring. Man, listen, it's September. And if you're in trucking, like I'll just put it this way, we went to a couple stores, outlet stores. And in the outlet store, it had all this fall stuff, like boxes. Just that, like, man, what all these boxes doing here? Oh man, the truckers, they don't hold it no more. The warehouses won't hold it no more for free, so they started sending it here. That already tells you what's going on. They're running out of warehouse space of all that backed up old inventory stuff that should have been put out. So now they're sending some of these outlet malls and these stores their stuff early. Like, hey, we can't hold this. You got to pay for that. You're going to get these boxes today and you're going to put them in the back somewhere. We ain't worried about it. We went to a running store locally. He had all these boxes all over the floor. I'm like, man, what's on all these boxes? He's like, man, they sent us all our fall stuff early. So when people talk to me about October, November, December, that's now. That's right now. Companies and stores are ready for October, November, December right now. And you're telling me you're not even ready for the kids to get school supplies. Baby, you about to be hurt. If you can't plan your future out a year, you in bad shape. You can't plan out 2 years, you're in real bad shape. When I ask people what they plan on doing in 5 years from now, oh, I don't know. You're already doing it. You're already doing it. If you don't know what you're doing in 5 years from now, you're already doing it. I assure you, like the sun is going to rise tomorrow, you're already doing what you plan on doing. I remember writing out all these plans on this paper and this calendar. And this guy was like, man, I can respect you for that. You plan it. It may not happen, but you plan it. I tell them all the time, listen, people are cyclical. Business is cyclical. If you're having a tight summer, don't worry. October, November, December, all of a sudden money comes out the trees. If you're in tax liens, they've been pushing these tax liens back for 2 years. They don't have no more time. They got to release all these tax deeds and all these tax liens. The cities need revenue. All the extensions for COVID are gone. So they need that money. So that's why I'm telling y'all about credit. I mean, let's say you're like, Erica, I don't like credit. Like we happened to ride with this guy the other day. He went on and on and on about how he didn't like credit and he was scared of credit. It sounded like he was hiding from the law. But anyway, I said, man, listen, if you don't like credit that bad, you're that scared of credit, pay for cash for stuff. You as long as you pay for your land and you build your house from the ground up slowly, or you putting trailers out there, you're fine. There's a lot of ways to live well with bad credit. There's a whole book on it. But I would strongly suggest you work on it. Let me see what y'all got in here. Folks better spend that 50 year on Toastmasters. I tell you, public speaking is hard. Dan Merrill's still doing those free seminars. He sure is. Listen, what did I tell y'all about Avengers? I didn't even do the video. I forgot. About creating teams. Y'all have heard me talk about this for years now. If I can go around the country and get 100 people promoting and pushing the Erica Williams products and services, I'm good. I don't ever need to spend another dime marketing because those 100 people know 100 and those 100 know 100. That's how word of mouth spreads. That's how marketing happens. Damn, we're going to keep doing them free seminars because it costs basically nothing to rent these hotel spots. And let people know, hey, I'm going to be in town this time. There are people who've been on A&E and zombie house flipping shows who are making $100,000 to $150,000 a year off speaking engagements off of that one show. Not even to mention how many people, let's just go there real quick. Bigger Pockets has 1 million people on it. If you really dive down in Bigger Pockets on any given day, there's a solid 100,000 who are actually doing it. Another 100,000 that are like the insurance, the brokers, the lenders, they're the middleman. So you got about 200,000 people, which is 1 in 4 on Bigger Pockets who are really doing it. Physically doing it, Munchie doing it, mind doing it. You have another 3/4 that they may be sitting on the sidelines. They got some money. It sounds like a good idea. They're not certain. So guess what? Brandon Turner, all these people talking about real estate, and hey, I got a fund, and hey, Ryan Piet, I got a fund, and Stephen Graham, I got a fund. Guess what? People are going to invest with them night and day. That's why they do the free seminars. Because if they don't get you in the pipeline for the Lifestyles Unlimited, I think is what it's called, for $50K, they can get you some other programs for 20. Trust me. This is an old song and dance. Market cap, thank you so much. Erica, what do you think of Eric Coffey on Federal Contract? No Limit, you must be new here. We have had Eric Coffey on this very channel. We've had the dude out of Atlanta on government contracting on this channel. Government contracting is real. You can make real money. Go watch the video I did with Eric Coffey. I'll post that on the community wall. And this is why when I talk about stuff, I know a lot of y'all are new. Every year I get about a new 7,000 people who haven't really been watching the channel. They new, or they don't catch all the videos, which is fine. But what happens is they're like, oh, can you interview this person? We already did. Can you call this person? We already did. So you're going to start seeing on my community wall me kind of putting up reminders and refreshers because we did over 2,000, like 400 videos. We've probably interviewed them. If you got a question, we've already interviewed that person. And we keep it moving. You already know it's September Surge. My kids ain't got no clothes. They feet done grew, their hair, they nails. These people don't have no plan for these kids. That's why when the school like, I ain't got no plan for them either. I ain't got enough teachers. Nobody's going to stop taking the kids to school. Nobody's going to sign up for the PTA and start showing up. I already know how this rolls. And let me just be very clear. Life doesn't owe you any grace. I know. Everybody hate me getting up on my grandstand. If you don't know something, nobody cares. If you show up to the office, hey, I don't know how to do this. Oh, you don't? Man, that sucks for you. You better get to Googling. You better go ask the old man at the office that been there 40 years and know how to do everything. Because at the end of the day, nobody owes you an understanding or a sympathy. I'm meeting people who are 45 years old talking about something that happened when they were 12 and 15 and 20. Now, listen, I'm not saying sexual assault, child abuse, or child assault abuse is anything to sweep over the rug. I will never say that on this channel. I can see how it damages people for years. But if you're telling me about something that happened that was, what they call nickel event, you have nickel events and you have $5,000 events that happen in your life. And you're 45 telling me how something happened to you at 12 and 18 and somebody was terrible to you at 20. So, you just started selling drugs and doing stupid shit from then on. You lost me. And society will not listen to you. We don't care. There's too many avenues to make money. That boy from Clemson taking pictures of people, he might as well change his last name. Because every job he will get from now on will be like, you took pictures of your teammates naked? What? I don't know if y'all know this or not, but football players in NCAA and certain conferences have websites where they put themselves in a suit jacket. My cousin did this very thing. They put a suit jacket on. They hold a football or a baseball bat or whatever it is, their sport, and they put their resume to the right of it. And then they shoot this around the boosters, this website. And this is how they get jobs, because most of you are not going to the NFL. Most of you are not going to the MLB. Most of you are not going to hockey. So they're already telling you, put your suit jacket on, son. Stand here, hold this football, take a picture. There'll be some booster that just likes you so much, they will hire you. Right? Because let's be really honest, the sports people you see at these games, they're not broke people. The guys filling up the bars, filling up their houses, cutting up, doing stuff online, they're broke. But when you go to these sports events where it's $500, $700, $800 a ticket, 9 times out of 10 is business owners. When I went to SEMA car show in Las Vegas, people were hauling cars from New York City. I said, man, how much that cost? Oh, it's on the company. I don't know. Then I'd ask them more about the company. What kind of one do we? Oh, it's mine. What? So these, again, it depends on the rooms you're in. But what's funny is I went to 2 masterminds and we kept meeting the same people. The world is incredibly small of people that are really doing it, you guys. I'm talking about hands down, making money, doing it, pulling up tax returns, can answer your tax questions, can walk you step by step through a program. The world is this small. Like I went to an event and everybody in there was like, hey, let me tell you something, write my number down. I'm going to the event in Chicago. Okay, write this down. Okay, I'm gonna be there. You call me. We all gonna meet up and eat dinner. Now this is supposed to be the government. This is supposed to be the banks and government with no biases. We all doing it, by the book. They already like, hey, take my number down. I'm gonna see you at the other conference, and we gonna act like we just met. People doing that, y'all. They doing that. I want you to understand what's happening right now. So when you sit here talking about you don't know what you're gonna get little Jimmy and Juju for their hair, honey, people like me and the 20% of the people in them rooms have already planned a nice little neighborhood for you to live in. They done planned a school over there where your kid can go away from their kid. They've already planned that. They don't want you around them. You can't even plan your life right. You can't even plan not to have a baby on accident. They don't want to be around you. Nobody. I wonder if parents are aware some schools are requiring them to sign a form stating that their kids won't use AI or submit somebody else's work. No, they don't. Dr. Dick State, they be like, my son plagiarized? Yes, your son plagiarized. Not my kid. Not my Julie. Not me. Never me. Never me. Not my son. But yeah, when you sign your kid up, there's so many things you sign up for. Sex ed, teaching all kind of crazy stuff in school. You don't even know. But here's the thing. A lot of the funding that had already been allotted under Obama, under Trump, under Biden, these people now have to use it. And if they were playing the game of like, well, we'll just pay the phones, not under Democrats. You're going to tell me why you couldn't find one black plumber, one black electrician, one black roofer in Tampa, Florida, Orlando, Florida. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. They can't convince you they couldn't find one in Tampa or Orlando. I mean, there's black people in Orlando, Tampa. I don't know the numbers of black people in those spaces. Maybe Diamond Dave or somebody else in the chat knows, but the government ain't playing that no more. Oh, I couldn't find nobody. They're not playing that. There you go. That's a lot of pension systems. But we'll try to do a show on it. Come on. Oh, it's hot. I don't want to jump in and out the van, baby. Then go get a different level skill. This is where we at with these conversations. Oh, I don't want to do that. BlackRock investing in people's pensions and making gains. You already know. If the pension plan offers you early look, take it. Take it right now. Take it. 2034, I'm telling you. My friend has been driving a truck for 18 years, but was sad when Yellow let him go last week. The solution is simple. Baby, if he'd been driving for 18 years, he could have been bought a truck 4 times over. The truth of it is most guys just want to show up and drive. They don't want to be responsible. They don't want to manage their own authority. And I get all that. But that ain't where the money is. So then just drive and hush. That's basically where your choices are right now. I got a PPP right now. Sorry, my bad. Stop it. You're so crazy. I was wondering why the fall stuff was out. Yeah, because these companies, these warehouses ain't holding nobody junk unless you paying them for it. They're trying to get out of some of this commercial space. Honey, the school supply every year. Every year I be like, ain't school supplies $50? Oh no, it's more than that. Show me. Well, it's 125. You telling me you ain't playing for $125? Like they look real dumb. The more they start saying it out loud, they just start trying. They keep telling you what's on the list. Okay, ma'am, you didn't tell me what's on the list. What's the price? It's 125. Okay, you trying about $125 every year? That's embarrassing. Now, when you wanted to go to Beyonce this summer, nobody said nothing. But now your kid need a haircut and a backpack. Man, you gotta get on out here with that. Yeah, Christmas. They got fall items in Target right now. It's too much. I'm telling you, VA COVID relief options in October 2023. Honey, they coming. Bridger got a fund. Yeah, minimum is 1 million. You can't even talk to him for less than $1 million, Tim. I'm telling these people that there are so many people on the sidelines who are good at what they do. They're a great doctor. They're a great lawyer. They're a great surgeon. They do what they do, and they go put some money in the fund, and it's just over there. But you got to actually make more money to even be thinking like that. When I see all these conversations about dating and I'm broke, all the dust in the air coughing you up, you're like, ugh, get y'all broke asses off the internet talking about this all day. Go make some money. Go reskill. Like I had to go retake a couple tests to qualify for this thing. And they acting like, oh, yeah, but you're a business owner. It don't matter. You need to have these skills just in case somebody try you, just in case the market change, just in case the economy change, any reason. I remember somebody tried to throw some numbers at me. I was like, I know them numbers. And I was like, right back to them. They were like, oh, people try to play you for stupid. You got to be smart. Congratulations. When is this day's first conference, Tam? I should know it, but I don't know off the top of my head. Go ahead and tell me. Figures show that roughly $10 billion a month is going to the creation of startups based on artificial intelligence. I left the classroom to become a Haitian Creole interpreter because the money is crazy disrespectful in this economy. Hey, man. They try to trauma dump instead of getting therapy. Man, I'd be like, man, if you're going out of here, I just don't be wanting to hear that thing. I don't want to hear it. Nobody wants to hear it. Nobody cares. Oh, I had this bad thing happening when I was 20. Baby, you're 45. If you ain't recovered in time, you need therapy. You need therapy. This ain't even a conversation we should be having. You need some therapy. Congratulations, Alan's the best. Eric, I got lucky, found a black developer that's mentoring me here in Dallas. The sky's yeah, there's a ton. Listen, the whole rhetoric that there's no black developers, there's a ton of them. When you start going to some of these events, you start it's the same people in the same spot over and over again. Hey, man, do you know this person? No, I don't know them. Oh, well, you should know them. Come to my house for this event. We're going to all meet up at the same time. It's very small. Unfortunately, Dallas has a lot of gatekeepers, but I'm glad you met somebody. Oh, life insurance should have been booming. Yeah, skybox seats are not cheap. Oh, Lord. Saw a mother with her two little girls asking people for money for dance lessons under the bridge during the Taylor Swift concert. I'd have called CPS, but that's me being petty. Y'all better than me. Yeah, baby kids. Them baby kids. We don't want them over here. Parents got to read those papers. I'm telling you, they not trying to read papers. They're like, oh, just show them go to school. That's how they go to work. There you go. Tampa has a huge black population, the largest state. That's why when they telling the government we can't find black plumbers, black roofers, black electricians at all in Tampa and Orlando, come on, man. Come on now. Yeah, loose leaf on Lair wait list. They better figure something out. See what else y'all got in here real quick. Oh yeah, lots of data. Let me see. Halloween candy at the dollar store already bought. You already know. Check out Retro Man. Savages. Let me see. Even with them AI jobs, yeah, they're still want 5 years experience. That's funny. Okay, there it is. October 11th and 12th. Eric Coffee. Join us in Miami. Miami. Send me that in an email, Tam. Honey, they already knew. Machine learning jobs that pay $130,000 require 1 to 2 years, and their jobs is at Walmart. Y'all already know what's up. Listen, that's what I have for the summer surge, the September surge, money, credit, housing, whatever lane you want to get into. I strongly suggest you figure it out and go ahead and get your start on, because that credit tightening is going to happen around October, which is terrible timing for our country as far as sales. But I will tell you right now, I'm going to be talking more about our credit affiliate, tax liens, and tech. That's it for the fall. I already know what's happening. I've already got plans for other stuff. My biggest dilemma this year was doing a controversial culture war channel. I had to stop myself, because once they told me, hey, look, we got 10 million over here if you do this. Okay, I'll do this instead. I'm gonna be an adult. I'm gonna go over here. I'm sorry. Y'all can have this internet. But that's what I got for y'all. That's the September surge. Pay attention, get ready for credit. Gonna be tightening like crazy. All these banks gonna be looking at you like, oh my God, I ain't got nothing for you. Pay attention. All these credit cards, pay attention. People saying I'm gonna wait till later in the year or to this or 2-3 years from now. Good luck. America runs on credit. The extension of credit. I'm meeting, let's just go there, white people with $4 to $6 million in credit lines. They don't know what to do with it. I don't know what to do. I'm meeting them all the time. And I'm meeting black people every day complaining about credit lines. You're going to have to go get a higher paying job. Simple as that, and pay some taxes. It's really simple. And I know y'all don't like hearing that from me, but that's kind of where we are right now. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you got something out of it. Thank you for joining me. Hit the like button when this renders. And just thank you guys for being a part of the channel. I've always tried to teach and educate from a position of what I'm currently doing and what I know and don't know. And I hope that makes sense to y'all. This is your girl, Erica, from the Classic Line blog. Have a wonderful evening.